What's up, Fit Fam? Mike Williams here, representing Beacquired Physiques, and I'm here to show you how to count calories. Now, there's some important things you need to know before following this counting calorie journey, if you want to call it that. Alright? 1, what are your goals? Are you trying to make weight? Are you trying to maintain weight? Or are you trying to lose weight? That's very important to know before you start diving into this counting calorie journey. Now, your body only knows one thing, and that one thing is survival. Your body's going to do whatever it takes to keep you alive. Alright? So that's why it's very important to meet your right amount of calories to make sure you meet your goals and to make sure your body is doing it in an efficient way. Alright? Now, there's 4 important nutrients that these calories are made up of. Those 4 important nutrients are carbs, proteins, fat, and water. Alright? You want to make sure you're reaching those goals with those 4 components. 1, why is water important? Water is important because it helps with your digestive system, helps you move those vitamins where it needs to be, and the vitamins that you take, if you do take vitamins, some of those vitamins are water soluble. Alright, your body is 2/3 of water, so you want to make sure you have the adequate amount of water. Ladies, you're taking about 11 to 12 cups of water per day. Men, about 14 to 15 cups. Okay? Me, myself, I take in a gallon. I have a gallon of water with me every day. Fill it up to a gallon, chug it down. Sometimes I take in more than a gallon. 2, carbs. Why are carbs important? Your body is going to seek most of your energy from your carb intake. Okay? Carbs come into effect when you're doing high intensity work, like you're going on speed 7 on the treadmill or pushing a lot of weight. All right, that's when carbs come in hand. 3, fats. Fats are important. A lot of people are scared of fats, and don't be scared of fats. All right, fats hold that energy source when you're sleeping and doing a low intensity work. All right, so if you're walking on a treadmill, or if you're standing or sitting at work, or like I said, low intensity work, that's when the energy sources suck out from your fats. 4, protein. Protein is very important to make sure you harness those muscles. You want to make sure you got those muscles to keep after you're building. Help you build and maintain those muscles. Helps with protein synthesis. Okay? So you want to make sure you meet the adequate amount of proteins in your diet. So you got water, you got your fats, you got your proteins, you got your carbs. Alright? Now, it's time to tell you the numbers behind those 4 nutrients. Well, actually 3 nutrients because water holds no calories. So we're going to talk about just the 3 out of those 4. So every gram of fat, 9 calories. Every gram of carb, 4 calories. And every gram of protein is 4 calories. Alright? That's going to make up your whole number of your calories. Alright? That's very simple. It only gets complex when you start mixing different foods together. I have this right here. Oh shit, upside down. I have this right here. This is like my food Bible, alright? I keep that on deck every time I'm cooking, every time I'm planning my meals. I make sure I dive into that book to see how many calories, carbs, and fats every food I encounter. When I go shopping, I have that book with me. I flip through it to see what it is, and I try to see what are the numbers for it. Now, I'm gonna give you an example of how to count these calories, judging off my everyday calorie intake. And my goal is to be on a calorie deficit. So I started my journey off at 212 pounds. That's how much I've gained from my bulking season. Now, when you take my numbers, it's not really gonna work with everybody else's numbers. So my numbers is not gonna do any justice. So just use my numbers as an example. When you figure out your calorie intake and everything like that, it will do you more justice than following mine, okay? Alright, so every day I take in 2,722 calories, alright? I'm on a calorie deficit. So I want to make sure my proteins are high and make sure I'm taking in less fats as possible. Rule of thumb when it comes to proteins, if you're losing weight, you want to make sure your proteins are 1 gram per body weight. I weigh 212 pounds, well, at least I did weigh 212 pounds when I started my calorie deficit. So my proteins were at 212 grams it's still at 212 grams. When you're maintaining weight, you're going to make sure your proteins are at 0.8 grams per body weight. That's the rule of thumb I follow. You don't have to follow if you want to. If you are bulking, which I was doing throughout the winter season, I did 0.5 grams per body weight. So that's the rule of thumb when it comes to proteins. So again, I am trying to lose weight, but I keep my proteins 1 gram per body weight. Alright, so that's the first number, 212 grams for my protein. Now, for my fats, rule of thumb for fats, you're going to make sure your fats are between 20% to 35% of your calorie intake. So I take my calorie intake, and 20% of that is 544.4 calories. Now, for fats, like I said, every gram of fat is 9 calories. All right, so 544 is the calories from fats. You divide that by 9. All right, that will give you how many grams you should intake every day for fats. All right, so 544.4 divided by 9 gives me 60.5 grams of fats. So now I got my protein, so it's 212 grams. I got my fats, 60.5 grams. All right, so it's very easy to figure out what are carbs from here on. You take the amount of calories from proteins, which for me is 848. All right, the way I got that is I took 212, all right, and I multiplied it by 4 because every gram of protein is 4 calories. So 212 multiply that by 4 gives me 848. All right, calories. Now you take that number and you add it by the calorie intake from your fats. All right, remember that 544.4? I took that number and added it with 848, and that gave me 1392. So that's the total amount of calories coming from my fats and my proteins. Now you take the total number of calories that you intake, which is mine is 2,722. Minus that by that number 1392. The number you get from subtracting those two numbers will give you the remainder of calories you need for your carbs. All right, so 2,722 minus 1392 gave me 1330. All right, gave me 1330 in calories from carbs. All right, to figure out to convert the calories from your carbs, to convert that to grams, you're going to make sure you take the 1330 and divide that by 4, because every gram of carb gives you 4 calories. All right, so 1330 divided by 4 gives me 332.5 grams for carbs. All right, so those are my numbers. So I'm going to recap on that. My total amount of calories I'm intaking is 2,722, right? That's the calorie total. Proteins is 848 calories, right? For fats, 544.5, that's the calories from fats, and the calories from carbs is 1330, all right? And the conversion to that in grams for proteins is 212 grams. For fats, 60.5 grams for fats, and for carbs, 332.5 grams for carbs. Now, another important keynote is your fiber. You want to make sure you have the sufficient amount of fiber in your intake every day. I'm roughly taking about 25 to 28 grams of fiber to make sure my digestive system is moving the way it should be, and to make sure, again, those vitamins are moved through your body and pushed to where it needs to be. So you need to make sure your vegetables are on point. Alright, that concludes episode 1, Fuel for Food. Don't forget to check out more videos on my playlist. Got the motivational videos, got the tutorials, and there's going to be more Fuel for Food. The next one's going to be episode 2. And it'll be more about me in the kitchen putting different ingredients together. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.